If you're serious about your GRE prep, and I know you are, you're going to spend a lot of time not only doing questions, but thinking about the questions that you've done, especially the ones you got wrong or guessed on, so you can learn valuable lessons from them. Just like a football player would on the Monday morning after a game, especially after that game that he lost. So these lessons are going to be instrumental in helping you make fewer mistakes on the real test. Everything I'm about to say, by the way, only applies to real ETS questions and to GMAT official questions. Both are worth analyzing. So in your GRE journal that came with the course, you're going to see entries to correct mistakes. And these 6 questions are going to be the questions you're going to be thinking about when you do make a mistake, or like I said, guessing a question, or maybe a question that takes you a long time to do. By the way, you guys should be timing yourself. Every time you do an official ETS GRE question, have a timer out. Just record how long it took you. I'm not looking for a particular speed, especially early on. However, you do want to be aware and start building the awareness of which questions took you a long time to do. So make sure, I'll draw a little clock as a visual there. Make sure you time yourself. Okay, so let me explain this process. Let's pretend you got a question wrong and now you're looking at it again. Try to redo it before you know the answer. Ideally, somebody else corrects your book, so you don't have any clue what the answer is. Ideally, you don't even write in your book, because you don't even want to know what you put the first time. You may remember. But anyway, you want to build the skill to get the question right without any help, which is the skill, of course, we need for the real test. A lot of people make the mistake of just working backwards from the answer. And of course, the answer makes sense once you know what it is. But your job is to figure it out without knowing the answer. That's what pays off. Then try to figure out what went wrong. Was it a careless mistake? Did you misread the question? What was it? Did you look at the wrong place in the passage? Try to figure out a reason you missed the question. Try to figure out what type of question it was. This is particularly important for critical reasoning questions, which we'll discuss later in the course. They're not just reading comprehension sometimes, but they're actually asking you things that are not just related to comprehension, but reasoning. And then, is there any kind of cue in the future you can notice it was that type of question? What is the easiest way to prove the answer? Be specific. And then, is there any kind of broad takeaway that you might apply to future questions? That would be awesome if you can come up with it. We're going to talk about that in the course, of course, but on your own, is there any kind of lesson you can learn? So make sure you take the time to review and learn from your mistakes. You'll have a big advantage over people who don't.